Hi.
I don't recognize you.
How you know? Sorry.
First time?
I do either.
Camouflage, I can't even see you.
Yeah, good. Perfect.
Better for both of us.
Exactly. The last two games you guys have played, you switched Robert and George in the starting lineup. And George is playing. They're both playing very good ball right now because of, or maybe not because of, but what was the reason for the switch, and has it generated what you anticipated?
Well, I think like we're trying to do what we can as coaches to put our guys in the best position to win. And I think for both guys, regardless of who starts, there needs to be an urgency, a physicality, a command. Like they need to play really hard immediately as we start the game. And that's what's really important. And then as the game wears on, you know, as a coach, we need both guys to play well. But depending on how the game goes, dictates, you know, which guy you play and how many minutes. So I'd say I'm not super caught up. I know it's been the only change we've made in the starting lineup, so you could put attention on it. It's really just trying to get that physicality we need from the start, and I think Robert's brought that for us. And at the same time, I think George has elevated his level of play. So at this point, it's been something that's gone well for us, but we'll continue to evaluate it each day.
Morning, Coach. Obviously, you know, ball pressure has been such a big reason for success on the defensive end. What are you guys doing to kind of accentuate and emphasize that against a team filled with perimeter talent like Martin off the bench, Brown, and obviously Agbaji tomorrow night?
Well, we believe in our system and how we do things and how we defend, and feel like no matter who we've played, when we've been the aggressor with that ball pressure and activity, we've been the team that things have gone our direction. So we've got tremendous respect for their program, for their players, their coaches, their guards, and the way they do things. And yet at the same time, we feel like we could have even been a little bit better pressuring the ball down there. And had we done that, maybe the outcome would have been different. So we're going to try to be even more aggressive and more intentional with our ball pressure tomorrow.
What's the obvious as a coach, you've experienced what Kansas experienced at home in their last game, you know, a tough loss, uncharacteristic for them. Do you think do you rely on almost muscle memory to kind of go back to where you were before, or what's the process, I guess, of regrouping after kind of one of those types of losses?
Well, when you play 31 games over the season, you know, there's going to be games that you have terrific energy, and there's going to be games for one reason or another it's not what you would like, especially as a coach, whether that's effort, execution. I think for all of us as coaches, you want your team to play their best every single game and in both of those areas. What I would say for us is that we rely heavily on our habits, and so the habits are the ball pressure, the rebounding effort and energy, and toughness with the basketball. And when those habits, when we work on them every single day and they show up for us in the game, we're successful. And so what we try to do when we're in that spot is to really remind our guys through film, through practice habits, through conversation, individual film, the things that we do, why we're successful, and to get back to doing those things. And so I would assume, they're a very well-coached program, that they would quickly try to get back to their identity of the things that they do exceptionally well.
I know even before Media Day, when all the new guys were being assembled, we met them. I think Jazz mentioned that he watched a bunch of YouTube clips of Hilton and Kansas games. And was that something you kind of urged them to do? Because I know a big selling point was this place can be really special for you if you come and do the right things, kind of thing.
Well, we certainly promote Hilton Coliseum, our fan base, the enthusiasm, the energy in this building. We have our guys watch film on some of the great wins, some of the great crowds, some of the comebacks. We want them to understand the place that they're playing and how special that opportunity is every single night. So Jazz probably went a step, ahead or above and beyond, what we've done. But our guys should understand every time what an honor it is to take the court at Hilton Coliseum. Think about the guys that have played before them. Think about the success the program's had. Think about the fans and the crowd. So that should be a motivating factor, and it also should be something that when you're in the game can give you that extra energy to push you through some tough patches.
What game sticks out for you, past, that you've been involved in, Iowa State, Kansas games?
You know,
I
as
can help you, but go ahead.
no, I mean, as coaches, you're always probably thinking about games where it didn't go your way, right? And so, you know, probably for me personally, it was, you know, the game that we were, you know, down in Lawrence, and Macklemore banked in a three at the buzzer and sent it to overtime, and then it got away from us quick. But, like, that's just because as coaches, I think you're always, when you're not successful, you're hard on yourself and think about things you can do differently and that sort of thing. So if this is going to end up being a question of if we're going to foul up three or not, or what my philosophy is on that, and you just baited me into it, what I'd say to you is, like everything, we try to put our guys in the best position to be successful each and every game. We don't have a set philosophy on what that is. Different teams dictate that. There's teams that shoot it well from three. There's teams that don't. There's personnel that we have on the court that we would look at one way, and there's personnel another way. So for us, everything comes down to, again, like, what's the hand that we have to play and what's the hand that they have to play, and how do we feel it gives us the best chance to win in that situation, and that's what we'll do and to be successful.
And Tyra says he got him too, by the way. Remember that?
Yep.
He said he should have, never mind. But he smacked him in the head. What about the 213 game? That was here, the overtime, refs got suspended.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, just like the game down in Lawrence, I mean, people can point to outside forces that impacted the win or the loss. Like, quite frankly, in the game that we were here where they came back, we need to do a better job guarding the dribble. Like, they were driving the ball at us, going right to the rim late in the game, and we need to keep our chest in front. And we need to keep people out of the paint at that time in the game, so it doesn't come down to everybody looking at one play, just like what happened in Lawrence. If we handle the things that we need to handle, one play won't matter. And that's, even for our group this year down in Lawrence, everybody's going to look at one play or one call. And at the same time, like, there was plays we missed at the rim. There was times we didn't execute our defensive coverage. There was times, you know, we had uncharacteristic turnovers. There was times we didn't pressure the ball enough. And so for me, we're going to focus on what we can control, and that's the areas we work on every day. And we're going to trust that things will go our way when we do that.